Hello Stampin' Friends, this is Jeannie Moss, the Bluegrass Stamper. Welcome to my studio here in the Bluegrass state of Kentucky. Today we're going to make a fun ice cream pop-up card. So this one is kind of a sidestep, but it's a faux sidestep card. So it's a little easier to make than a sidestep. On a regular sidestep, you'd be cutting your cardstock down the center and then you'd be folding half of it one way and half of it the other way. And this is just an easier version of that. So I have two of these in different colors. I have a peach pie card with pretty in pink ice cream, and I have a pretty in pink card with peach pie ice cream. So you're going to see some parts of both of these today, but this is the one we're actually going to make. So let's get started. I'll be using the ice cream swirl stamp set and dies. I did use this die for the ice cream cone, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that later. And I've got some other dies out that I've used with this. I did use this one too. So I'm using this set of stamps and dies. I'll be using, today I'm going to be using the peach pie card base. So this is 4 1/4 by 9. And then I have another piece that is 2 1/2 by 8 1/2. So those are the two pieces we'll be using. I'm actually going to be using the pink ones because I've already scored them. But you will score the larger piece. You'll score it at 3 1/4, 6 1/2, 7 3/4. 3 1/4, 6 1/2, 7 3/4. And then this short piece you'll score at 5 1/2. I mean the long narrow piece, 5 1/2. So let's get started. You'll need some other pieces. I've got a piece of very vanilla. I thought that went well with vanilla ice cream, just slightly smaller than this 5 1/2. So it's 5 1/4 by 2 1/4, I believe. I've got a, this would just be a scrap of cardstock. We'll have a piece of the glimmer cardstock. This is beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. That's this, and it comes, this is the in colors, the new in colors. So you have the peach pie and the pretty in pink. You also have petunia pop, shy shamrock, and summer splash. So I don't know if you can get a look at how shiny and gorgeous those are. But there's one sheet of each color in this package. And because I didn't have enough for my class, that's why we had two different colors of cards. There's a 3 by 4 piece of vanilla, a 3 by 4 piece of DSP, and this is from the Unbounded Beauty DSP. So there are lots of pretty colors in this, and this has all the in colors in it. So if you're looking for a DSP other than just the generic in color DSP, this has all those colors in it. Very, very pretty. We've used almost all of that one, and I've used almost all of this one on a cute little candy bar box. If you haven't seen that, be sure to look for that video. So we've got a piece of glimmer paper. I've also cut out the base snow ice cream. So I've cut out one of these, and I've also cut one of these. Now this actually cuts out 2 at a time because it makes a card. So you could cut this out and then fold it in the center and have a cute little ice cream cone card. But what I did was cut those out for class and then cut them down the middle so everybody got one piece of this. So the first thing we'll do, we're going to do a little bit of stamping and not a lot. So on this little piece, we're going to stamp, and we're stamping in pecan pie. And this is just our little greeting that says, hope your day is sweet. And this is just a little scrap. So we have that. And we're also going to stamp our ice cream cone. So this guy. And this is a little tricky to line up, so take your time with it. Hopefully you can put I don't know if I can do this where I can see it and you can see it without getting my head under the camera. So there's our ice cream cone and our greeting, and that is all the stamping that we need to do for this card. So I took this piece, and again, like I said, I'm doing the pink card, so mine is actually in the peach pie, and I've cut it out with a die from the Stylish Shapes dies. That's a very, very useful set of dies that has squares, circles, they're all stitched, and these cute little banner dies. And they're stitched on both sides of the cut, so you can use the inside or the outside portion of where it cuts. So this one we have, and this guy. The other thing I did was I cut out this piece, although I used the peach pie, and I used the die to cut out the ice cream swirl. So I just put this on and cut it out. And like I said, I used the peach pie one. So this is my swirl. And I saved the scraps after I cut the ice cream out. So I had this a hole, but I had this part left, and I didn't want to just not take advantage of that beautiful glimmer paper. So I used my confetti die, which is also in this, and I ran this scrap through again. And so I've got all these pretty little pieces of confetti that I can use for this card now. So I have all of these cute little pieces that can be used. And we are going to use quite a few of those. So I'm going to just put those here for right now. And we're going to work on our card. So on this card base that we've already scored, we're going to take the small, we're going to lay it like this. We're going to take this small portion, we're going to fold back. And then on this one, we're going to fold up. And on this back one, we're going to fold back. So we have something that looks like this. And then we have our piece of our strip that we've folded like this. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to open that back up, and we're going to put our DSP right into this area. And I'm just using the multi-purpose glue. I like it because it lets me have a chance to move things around a little bit before it seals up, before it becomes permanent. So there's the DSP. Then we'll take this strip, and we're going to adhere it right down here at the bottom of the card, just on this front panel. I like to lay it right above that score line so that I can see where to put my adhesive on this bottom flap. I know not to go out past that strip of cardstock because I know there's not going to be anything out there, so I won't put glue here. That just lets me know where to glue it. Then I'm going to line it up with the bottom, and I'm going to also line the side up over here. Make sure that is all lined up and your bottom is lined up. So up here, you want it lined up straight with our card, and straight with our base. And while we've got it flat, I've taken this piece of vanilla that was slightly smaller and I've run it through an embossing folder. So I think this is, I'm not even sure what this one is. I thought I had the swirls, but I didn't. So I'm using a retired embossing folder, and we're just going to put that right on that section. I don't usually use retired products, but like I said, I thought I had the swirly one because that's what I really wanted to use. And that's Max. If you're hearing the dog barking, that is Max. So our next step is going to be to open this up and fold this card up like it's going to be standing up. So we've got it all folded up. And then what we'll do is turn it to the back and lay it down. We're going to fold this over, and now you can see where you need to put adhesive to secure that. So I'm going to put some adhesive right on here, and I'll just fold that down, and that will secure that flap on the back. And that 2 by 3 inch piece of vanilla that we cut is going to go right on the back of this, and it will help to hide some of that seam. And this is where you'll write your write your message for the card. So now we have our card, woo! And we're ready to decorate it. So we're going to take our ice cream cone, and we're going to adhere that with some glue right down at the bottom of this vanilla panel. And you want to keep this close to the bottom, because it cannot go, our ice cream cannot go over the top of the card, or you won't be able to get it into your envelope. So I've just put that at a little bit of an angle there. And we'll put this just to the side. We're gonna work on our ice cream and our greeting. So the ice cream, I told you I'd cut out the base piece with that open die. And now I'm ready to attach this. Make sure you're going the right direction. Make sure that this bottom piece is not turned like that so that it doesn't match. So make sure your pieces are matching up before you glue this on. And I'm putting glue in these larger areas. And then I'm going to put just a few little dots, tiny, tiny dots of glue on those narrower sections. So that's our ice cream. And I'm going to add dimensionals to the back of this. And like I said before, you don't want to go above the fold of your card because you do want it to fit, well, if that is unless you don't want it in an envelope. If you're going to give it to somebody by hand, I guess you could go higher with it. But if you want it to fit in an envelope, you want to keep that ice cream below the fold of your card. So there's our ice cream cone. Now we have this piece, and what I'm going to do with that, I'm going to take some of my seal and I'm going to put it across the back of this, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of these pieces, these scrap pieces that came out of my ice cream, my swirly sparkle, because I really like that sparkle and I don't really want to throw that away, and I'm going to put it on the back of this greeting. So I'm just adding it a little bit so it pops up over the top, and a little bit so that it pops up down here at the bottom. If you want to trim this piece off, you can, or you don't have to. That's totally up to you. And now I'll put this piece on, also with dimensionals. And that just gives a little shiny sparkle behind our greeting. I'm going to put that here. And now you have all these other little pieces, all those little confettis that we cut out that you can put on your card wherever you want to put them. So I'm going to put a couple up here and maybe one here. I'm going to grab my little take your pick tool to get those picked up. I'm also going to put a few on my card here. So I'll just maybe put 3 little dots of glue on there, a little triangle pattern. And then finally, I'm going to add some of those little pieces down here in the corner of the back. And you could even cut out more pieces because you've got plenty of those little these little pieces left that you could cut even more out of. So there's the back of our card. So these I thought these looked like eyebrows. And so in class I tried to get people to wear them, but they wouldn't do it. But don't they look like eyebrows? I mean, look at that one. That's a pretty little shaped eyebrow. But anyway, you could use these for Halloween or you could throw them away, whatever you want to do with those. And this is our card. So now we have this pretty little pop-up, shiny ice cream card. I hope you've enjoyed this card. If you have any questions or you'd like to reach out to me, you can email me at bluegrassstamper@gmail.com. If you'd like to see more projects, I have a website, www.bluegrassstamper.com. If you'd like any supplies, if you need supplies to make this project, I would love to help you with that. I'd love for you to shop with me. You can shop with me on my website. I appreciate you stopping by, and I hope to see you again. Thank you. Bye.